I'm extremely disappointed in Wuthering Wave's newest endgame, the Overdrive zone. Now, in case you don't know what that is, it's basically a brand new tower sitting between the experimental zone and the hazard zone. But don't be fooled just because it sits before the hazard zone. This is harder than the hazard zone. The main difference between this and the hazard zone is that one, this is permanent, it's a one-time clear, it doesn't reset, and two, it's a 6-6-6 setup. So instead of having like a left tower trash mob, right tower trash mob, and then a boss tower in the middle, get free straight up level 100 boss tower. And it's actually harder than the level 100 boss because instead of getting like, you know, just the boss itself, you're basically facing more than the boss. For example, for this chamber, you're facing first the Light Crusher, followed by Fallacy of No Return, which is the brand new boss. So basically, you need free complete team to challenge all of these level 100 bosses. But here's the thing, you need free complete specific team, not just free complete team, free complete specific team. And the reason of that is because every single one of these towers come with a very specific niche buff, right? They purposely reduce the enemy certain resistance to certain element on top of increasing certain element resistance, right? So for this tower, for example, I'm trying to use my Ling Yang, but because of the fact that there's a 10% glacial resistance increase, it is significantly harder for me to clear this boss right here. Right, on top of all the other buffs on this chamber, you can see this buff, for example, have a buff where every single time you do a counter attack or you hit the enemy with a resonance liberation, it will reduce your skill cooldown by 5 seconds. And this buff is extremely good for a character like Chang Li, who's really reliant on spamming their skills, and do completely nothing for characters who don't rely on spamming their skills like Ling Yang. You can even see they recommend you to use Fusion Element, which of course is basically just, well, Chang Li. And the same kind of go with the left tower and the right tower. This left tower have a buff where if you are hitting an enemy with a coordinated attack, you gain a 5% resonance skill damage bonus, stacking up to 24 times. Right? In addition to reducing the enemy boss spectral resistance by 10%. Right? And I definitely wonder who this chamber is meant to be for. I'll give you a hint. It's a Spectral characters, right? And each chamber have a different buff. So you can see, like, for example, this chamber have a temporarily different buff where once again you see when you hit an enemy with a counter attack, you gain 40% resonance damage, right? And these chambers are actually extremely hard. They are very, very niche, catering to a certain category on all of these chambers. The first thing you will notice is that it allow you to clear with free start if you have free 60-second left, which is 6 minutes. So the thing is, these chambers are actually 10-minute chamber, right? And so with free 60-second left or 6 minutes left, your ideal time to clear each of these chambers is 4 minutes. And it's actually extremely tight if you don't have the specific character that it requires. More noticeably on the right tower even. The right tower, this chamber have a lot of mob. I think this chamber have 3 wave of mob that are like 5 to 6 mob each, and there are big mob as well as small mob. The small mob give this big mob like a invincible buff, so you have to clear the small mob first. And you can see that this chamber is, I wouldn't say favored toward AoE because that would be an understatement. It's more like AoE is strictly required, or like a character with extremely good grouping AoE is strictly required. Oh, arrow characters. Who can that be? Dion. I mean, I did clear with my Xiangli Yao, but it took me a lot of struggle on top of practically using some of the best characters in this game, which is my Xiangli Yao team with Yinlin and then Shorekeeper, who is the best support in the entire game. And this is like not some under-invested like Xiangli Yao either. I have his signature weapon. Not this one, this is my Ling Yang signature weapon, but I have my Ling Yang is using it right now. But this is the Xiangli Yao signature weapon, so I do have S1 Xiangli Yao. It is S0, but his most important skills such as his Resonance Liberation as well as Resonance Forte Circuit is 10 out of 10, completely maxed out. And it is impossible to clear these chambers without the catered characters. So for example, in this case, it's gonna be like Jian. In this case, it's gonna be like Xiangli Yao. Oh, by the way, each of these chamber has a different specific catered characters. My problem with this is that they present this as a permanent game mode that you clear at one time, but they cater these characters specifically for this one-time tower. It's basically like, do you have this character? Check. Do you have this character? Check. Do you have this character? Check. What, like, you're just not going to release any more new characters? Because the problem is that the new characters are not going to be catered toward any of these buffs, and it's always just going to be like, oh, this is the Jian chamber. If you don't have Jian, it's significantly harder, like 2 or 3 times harder. Oh, if you think I have Shaolin now, this chamber is 2 times harder. And it's super noticeable how much they cater these chambers to specific characters. Look at this. Electro recommended chamber with every time you hit a coordinated attack, you reduce enemy resistance by 10% up to 10 times. So that's 100%. So you literally do double damage if your team have coordinated attack. Who can that be? Yinlin. Of course. Oh yeah, this is another AoE chamber, so you got like massive AoE on top of that, right? I can't believe they would make this a permanent chamber. But the thing that I'm disappointed the most is the way they added this new boss, Fallacy of No Return. I cannot believe that they would design a new boss enemy like this. And it's the exact same problem Genshin Impact has, but 2 times worse, alright? The thing with the Fallacy of No Return is that it is a boss enemy that will fly around in the sky, so you can hit him for like 10 minutes, or just straight up teleport away, vanishing away, so you can hit him when you're doing your rotation. Oh, you just casted your Resonance Celebration, so it's time to do your rotation. Too bad, I'm gonna disappear away. Where did he go? No, you fuck, dude! This is the thing that people hated the most with Genshin Impact. They make enemy that fly in the sky for 2 minutes and you just can't hit them. They make enemy that duck underground for like 2 minutes and you just can't hit them. And they did the exact same thing that Genshin Impact has. And I'm like, did you not learn anything from 3 years of people complaining about Genshin Impact boss enemy? It's so irritating when you just make a boss who teleport away so you can hit them on a DPS check chamber. And again, this is the hardest DPS check chamber they have in the entire game right now, if you don't have their specific cater characters, right? And so the entire thing feels worse than a DPS check, which is basically what everybody has been complaining about the entire time, even on the regular tower. This is not just a DPS check. This is, do you have this specific character check? No, you don't. Peace, bye-bye, right? And this is the permanent endgame. So you just don't have these characters. You just fuck for your entire journey of Wuthering Wave. I mean, not really, because it is clearable if you're really invested on like some other characters. There are people who clear this entire thing using only like the free character they give to you, but the point is that you still need very specific characters that align exactly with the buff they give you in order to clear these chambers. And not everybody are interested in playing those specific characters or have those characters invested. So I feel like it's still a character check, right? And I just think that's so disappointing, on top of, once again, making this new boss that fly around, teleport around, hit him in the sky, hit him in the air, you can hit him, go around, I'll knock you around. Dude, like, did you not learn anything from Genshin Impact? Like, please, okay, subscribe.